great for rising.
DEI hire. Patel, what's his name? Hashtag Patel, Cash Patel. He's the he's the FBI. I'm thinking DEI because we know he's a DEI hire, right? And we need to start calling him that. We need to start calling him out. He's a DEI hire. Well, this DEI hire, Patel, had the nerve. I mean, the nerve, the audacity. He had the gall to try to get us to go against our ancestor. She's our ancestor now. Activist Assata Shakur, she's our ancestor now. This thing had the nerve, this DEI hire had the nerve. I said, well, listen, I'm getting worked up. Now I want you to listen and I'll come back. I will have calmed myself down and I will come back after. I want you to listen to what this DEI hire said. Is he even a citizen? Where's ICE when you need him?
FBI Director Cash Patel says that we should not be mourning the loss of our good Auntie Assata Shakur because the FBI still considered her a threat, and to mourn her loss would be like spitting on the badge. And to that, I say it's a good thing.
I didn't ask you a question.
Why, thank you, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. You finished my sentence for me. He also said that she was not fighting for freedom, that she was just an unaliver because she unalived a New Jersey cop. I still don't believe it. Okay, I'm with Auntie Assata Shakur. If she says she ain't do it, guess what? She ain't do it. And you want us not to mourn her passing simply because y'all, the FBI, couldn't find a way to catch her? That makes me mourn her passing even more because she was the real OG. Now, not too much on Auntie Assata Shakur before we get to talking about
why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye.
Now, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, you are just reading my mind. You saying all the things I was going to say.
A heated reaction from the head of the FBI over the passing of the beloved Assata Shakur. FBI Director Cash Patel took to X to say that mourning Shakur, born Joanne Chesimard, is an insult to law enforcement, saying that, quote, Joanne Chesimard didn't fight for justice. She murdered New Jersey State Trooper Werner Forster in cold blood, then fled to Cuba to escape accountability. The FBI never stopped calling her what she was, a terrorist. Mourning her is spitting on the badge and the blood of every cop who gave their life in service, end quote. While Assata was convicted of murder before escaping prison 2 years later with the help from the Black Liberation Movement, forensic scientists have concluded that she was not the shooter, and it's also important to note that she was actually shot in the back while her hands were in the air. After her daring escape from Clinton Correctional Prison, Shakur fled to Cuba, where Fidel Castro granted her asylum, where she would remain for over 40 years. The Cuban government confirmed that she died in Havana of health complications at an advanced age just last week, meaning that she did in fact die a free woman. Do you think Cash Patel's statement was necessary, though? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm Rodney Rakai, and this is Cassius on The Culture.
Now, you see this? Let me read you this. Okay, it says forensic evidence and testimony at trial, talking about Shakur trial. In 1977, Shakur was convicted of first-degree murder in the death of New Jersey State Trooper Werner Forster. However, several points related to the forensic evidence have raised questions about the official verdict: gunpowder residue. Forensic evidence showed no gunpowder residue on Shakur's fingers, which supported the claim that she did not fire a gun during the shootout. Now, they didn't find no residue. I'm not a forensic expert or forensics anything, but I do know enough about guns to know that if you fire a gun, you're going to have some residue. Fingerprints. No fingerprints belonging to Shakur were found on any of the guns recovered at the scene. Medical testimony. Expert witnesses testified that Shakur's wounds were consistent with her account of being shot while her hands were in the air, not with her firing a weapon. So you see that? But see, it doesn't matter. You mean to tell me he's an FBI agent and he doesn't know that? Is that why we're in trouble? Because the FBI agent doesn't even know that? That if you fire a weapon at point blank, if you hold a weapon and fire, point blank. I tell you, I wasn't no expert. But anyway, a point blank means you're shooting somebody up close. But if you holding a gun, whether you're up close, way back, in the middle, you're gonna have some kind of residue on your hand. So it just boggles my mind, and I don't know. Maybe that says something about my mental ability, huh? Because after all these years, and I'm not a spring chicken, after all these years, I'm still amazed. I don't know why I should be. I've seen so much, witnessed so much, so this stuff shouldn't surprise me. But it does, and I think that's one reason that we get hoodwinked a lot, because it's hard for us, for our minds, to even go to the depth and depravity of these people's minds. So sometimes it's easy for us to be, I guess, hoodwink of food, because as I said, our minds can never sink to the depravity, to the level of just lowness of these people. See, I don't even know if we can combat that. How do we combat that? Because we're not built that way. But we got to come up with a plan so we'll stop being surprised at the evil that surrounds us. So now come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, because as I said, this is my week of paying homage to our dear ancestor now. She's our ancestor. She has risen in power. So come back. And tomorrow I'm going to talk more about her, about what led up to her being considered dangerous. I'm going to talk about COINTELPRO, all these different things. And I'm also going to talk about how, well, that'll be next week, though, when I'm going to just start listing cases after case after case of how Black people have been framed. And not just Black people now, because I'm going to start out with this young white girl that was framed. And if they do it to a young white girl, we don't stand a chance. So thank you so much. And let me just say this. DEI high. You had the nerve, and you know who I'm talking about, DEI, FBI man. You had the nerve to try to slant us against our dear ancestor. Why did you do it? If they close my book, you remember my story. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Support our youth in any way you can. Keep on churning till the butter comes. Albert C. Richardson, a Black man, patent the butter churn U.S. patent number 446470, February 17th, 1891. I'm Lily Bayer. I'm just trying to create a dialogue. I leave you with this. If they close my book, you remember my story. A Nat Turner Runner production. Lock and load. Lily Bayer. Be encouraged.